Well, obviously, this is a tough loss for us. We played very hard, competed very hard, competed the way we want to compete for the most part. Akron did a great job on the offensive glass, obviously, in the second half in particular. And then they made two huge plays when they needed to make them. And you got to give them credit for that. Brian Walsh is a very good player who seems to always make big ones, and Alex Abreu, another very good player who always seems to make big ones. And even when they're not playing well, that they have the ability to make big shots, and they did tonight. So credit Akron for that.
Talk about the lift that Goodson gave you right away from the beginning and really seemed to spark kind of the energy and the rebounding in the first half.
Yeah, Darren played very well, and need him to do that more often. Need him to do it, every night. But he played the way he's capable of playing. He competed incredibly hard. Especially in the first half. We just, he's got to rebound better for us. But Darren played very, very hard.
Coach, I hear when we talked to the ref when Zeke got his first foul, you said that was his first foul in 30 minutes. Do you think there should have been more fouls called on Akron?
I'm not going to get into that. I appreciate the question, but you guys make your decision on that. I mean, I have no idea. At the end of the day, we went to the free throw line 33 times. They went 26 times. I can't complain about that.
Any thoughts at all at the end? I know you're juggling who knows what. The players were saying that the game plan was that they knew when they needed shots, they went to Alex. I don't know what's called out there or whatever, but they were saying a lot of they thought they had some mistakes.
Yeah, it was just they went back-to-back flare plays, and we went under, got caught up in the screen. And give those guys credit. They executed and then made the shots they needed to make. I mean, what do you say? I mean, they were down 3. They went to a flare play, which, we had covered it. But you know what? Sometimes good players make plays. Sometimes there's a miscommunication. We went under the screen, and then you still got to make the shot. And you know what? Alex Abreu's he makes them all when they need him. I've seen it many times, and give him credit for making it. And then, we miss a little bunny, I think, in the lane that, again, a shot that, I'm not upset that we took it. Great shot, one that we need to make. We didn't make it, and then they come right down, and, right away, similar type action, and we went under the screen. It got caught up in the screen, whatever it may be, and Brian Walsh hit it. And you know what? Give him credit. To give him credit. Then I think we came down and Chris Brewer hit a big one for us to tie it. So, that's the game. I mean, if we get a stop, in particular, when we were up 3, it's probably a different outcome, but we didn't. And that's why they're very, very good, because they make those plays when they need to.
I did step out for just a moment, but I just wanted to ask, at the start of the second half, they started crashing the boards, Treadwell and all of them started crashing. And they were getting those stuff inside. And then when they started to pull the ball out, you mentioned Abreu, but also Gilliam.
Gilliam, he's a killer. He's a Kent State killer.
Right.
For 2 years.
Also Kretzer hit a big one.
Yeah.
And then toward the end, it was the big boy.
Yep.
So.
Well, they're a good team. And they're deep. And you know what? You got to play for 40 minutes. You got to play hard for 40 minutes. We did not do a good job on the glass in the second half. That goes without saying. You can look at the stat sheet. It was, they were playing volleyball in there. But in the first half, it wasn't. So, some of that's on us. We gotta compete a little bit more. And it just seemed to me, and again, I've got to watch the film, but it seemed to me we came up with a lot of the 50-50 balls in the first half when it was loose, and they came up with a lot of the 50-50 balls in the second half when it was loose. And then they made the plays that they needed to make, and we didn't. It's pretty simple,
Well, what do you sum that up to? Is that just, can it be being tired after all that energy in the first half?
You know what? No, I think, inexperience. You could call it any of that stuff, but at the end of the day, those guys have won a lot of games because they're really good. They're really good, Brian Walsh is, I think he's a fifth-year senior, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I know he transferred, right? Fifth year. He's a good player. He's made big shots. He's been in big games. He's made them. Demetrius Treadwell, he was a monster on the glass. 16 rebounds. He's a monster on the glass. My guys competed, but, at the end of the day, that we didn't get it done the way we need to, and they did. So, give them credit for what they deserve to have. They deserve credit for playing well and making the plays that they needed to down the stretch. It's not like we didn't make plays. I mean, we had a costly turnover, where, again, I have to watch the film, but I thought Chris Evans made the right play and it just fumbled out of Melvin's hands. I don't know why. What? Yeah, little scoop pass when we were down 2. I think we had fouled Zeke in the lane. He made both free throws. And again, he didn't shoot well from the free throw line, but when it was a tie game with a minute to go, he made them both. And that's, is that experience? Yeah. Is that being good? Yeah. I mean, it's a combination of things. So, you got to give them a lot of credit. Give them a lot of credit.
Kind of lost in all this real early in the second half. May or may not have impacted. You guys talking about Henny and Tack. All of a sudden, they're on the bench with 3 and 4.
And I think that hurt us. I think it hurt us. I did. I think it hurt us. But you know what? Those guys got to learn to play without fouling. This is, the second straight game that's happened. So you got to play hard without fouling. My bigger disappointment is just, we really, really competed on the glass in the first half. And maybe they didn't go as hard. I don't know. You'd have to ask them that. But, in the second half, they really were determined, and we didn't match what we needed to match. So, and with all that being said, we were up 3 with 2 minutes to go. And then, again, we didn't get the stop we needed to get. We needed to get some stops. And they went back-to-back and hit some big shots. The second half, the rebounding numbers it's like nothing I've ever seen before. So give them credit. Give them credit.
Coach, has the team grown up despite that, though, over the last couple of weeks? And is today still a good stepping stone if you can have a good day in a loss?
I've said this, and I feel like our team is very resilient. I think Wednesday will really, we play Wednesday against Bowling Green on the road again. And this is not easy to bounce back from this loss because our guys were emotionally invested in this one. We played really hard. We had not played at home like this in a while. We played on the road like this, but we didn't play at home like this in a while, which I don't understand, but it is what it is. And we played really hard, and we didn't win. So that's not easy to come back from. But our kids have been resilient throughout the year. They have been. I expect us to be resilient and to really compete very hard against Bowling Green. I haven't watched them yet, so I don't know. I know they have good players. I know who they have, but I'm sort of long-winded answer to your question. I do feel like we're growing up. I would have liked to see us finish this game off for me to say, yeah, we're really growing up. But we'll see. It's a long season ahead, and we've got to grind and find a way to bounce back. And that'll be we'll see how grown up we are when we play Wednesday.
Coach, anytime Kent plays Akron, there's always a buzz in the community, buzz in campus, there's a sell today. How tough is it on you that you haven't won a Kent Akron game as a head coach?
You know what? I know that's probably going to linger until we beat them, and shoot, I hope we beat them soon. But what our fans were great today. My big thing is that we need you to come more often. Our kids deserve it. I could, and you know what? Akron kids deserve it at Akron too. Our programs are too good, both, to not have more attention by the fan bases outside of the game against each other. What Akron's doing is phenomenal, and they deserve to have a lot people there. And when we play against Ohio next week or whoever it is, we deserve to have people there. Our kids are playing their tails off, as are they. To answer your question, it's always tough to lose to Akron. It's tough to lose to anybody. It's probably tougher to lose to Akron because you have so many people here that supported you. So you feel worse because of it. But you know what? We have to move on to the next game.
Coach, Could you speak to the 16-2 run at the end of the first half? Just what was working and the role that you guys.
Yeah, you know what? Just energy. Energy, and you make a shot, and then you get a stop, and you get out in transition, and we made some plays when we needed to. We just never got that in the second half because we couldn't get stops because they kept offensive rebounding, and we really couldn't get out in transition. And when you don't get out in transition, it's harder to score because you end up in the half court running a set after a set after a set. And if you don't rebound, you can't get out in transition. So we just couldn't rebound in the second half. And that's disappointing because in the first half, it led to us playing really well and getting a lead and keeping the momentum. We just never got that in the second half. We never got that run.
Randall had a tough night. Was that just Randall having a tough night? They do something on him?
You know what? I'd have to watch the film to see. But again, I think, I'm trying to remember, did he force anything? I don't remember him forcing any shots. I thought he took good shots.
He had 2 floaters just.
Yeah, they seemed like 2 of them. Like the one that when they went up 2 with a minute to go, we ran a play to have him drive and either kick or run this, shoot this little mid-range shot that he's good at making, and it seemed like it hit every part of the rim and came out. And I think he had a couple like that, but that that happens. And again, I give them some credit for doing a good job defensively on it, but I think he missed some that he normally would make, and I don't know the reason for it.
Any more questions?
Okay, thank you guys.